Michael, mate, obviously a good start to the season as well, but good news as well for a number of your players getting a call up into the Matildas, some for the first time. I know you're a relatively new coach to the group, but when you see your players getting international recognition like this, the three of them, how do you feel?
Look, very proud. I think individual success comes from team success. So we're in a very good environment here. We all understand the benefits that we have being part of Melbourne City. And I think the three individuals that got their reward is justified. They've been working extremely hard, and I wish them all the best.
I was chatting with Leah before. The City players are somewhat unique in that not only have they had the two A-League women games, but you also went away to Asia and were able to play competitive Asian Champions League fixtures and sort of build up not only that level of form and fitness, but also that game tape that can get them eyeballs. How valuable do you reckon that has been, not only to your players, but as a collective?
I think definitely as a collective, I think it gave us an opportunity to be 11, 12 days away in sort of like a pre-season camp with competitive matches that it's different when you're playing in a proper match for points in a big tournament like the Asian Champions League is. You get those different butterflies, those different feelings of nerves before the match than you would if you just played a normal friendly match. So definitely preparation-wise was a big positive for us. Especially we had at that stage, six new players join the team as well, plus myself as a new coach. So to spend that time together was, and start our pre-season campaign a little bit earlier as well, has definitely helped us in these first few weeks of the A-League season.
Because yourself, mate, coming in, it's not often a coach comes in and inherits a premiership winning side and the expectations for continued success that come with that, let alone the expectations that come with being the coach of Melbourne City Women. What's the experience been like for you across, I guess, your opening months in the role? And I guess, was it a relief when 2 games in, top of the table with 2 wins?
Look, I think like you said, coming into a championship side is normally not the norm, but for me, it's been seamless. I think, first of all, from day one with the management, with Michael Petrillo and Pedge have welcomed me with open arms and supported me from day dot. And then the senior players especially, players like Stoddy and Bubs, have been great for me to just be able to bounce ideas and speak about the culture within the group, where they think there can be some improvements. And then my staff has been outstanding from day dot. We've got a lot of good staff here that have supported the group over the years, and for me to come in has been excellent to work with them. So far so good. The wins definitely help, but we're on a process. We know that, and I know we have a lot of levels to keep improving on, and if we can keep picking up points early, we're going to be even better come round 4-5.
Because opening 2 weeks, 2 good wins over Glory and Victory, 8 goals in that, but I guess also 4 goals conceded. As a coach, is that what catches your eye more so than the 8 goals, those 2 goals conceded in each game, and you're trying to figure out how you can be keeping clean sheets?
The goal for me is not always to keep clean sheets. It's how we can prevent chances. So you're always going to concede goals. It's natural. It happens. But how we limit them, how we protect our box, how we defend the space in behind us, how we control the transition moments. I think that's a really important part of, especially our game, that we like to dominate the ball, especially high up in the opposition defensive half. So how we control that, we've been doing a lot of work on that. And that's definitely an area of improvement that we can keep chipping away at. And then how we create chances. So by throwing more numbers forward, by being very proactive in our attacking patterns, and being brave to be able to play out from the back and absorb the pressure, to be able to create more space higher up the pitch. is our game model and what we're trying to achieve. There's always a reason why we're doing something. So there's the risk to reward. So the way I analyze things, if we're creating 2-3 times the amount of chances than the opposition, then more likely than not, we should win those matches. So can we get better at creating more chances? Yes, and we're doing a lot of work on that. And we're definitely putting in a lot of work to try and prevent those chances as well.
Because when you look at the game you've got coming up against the Mariners, they had a great result to start the season against Sydney, and then they've got the points off what it looks to be a pretty good Western United side. What are you expecting from them?
I've been very impressed. I think I've watched both games live and then watched their replays as well in more of an analytical way. And both games, they did slightly different things. So I think tactically, they got different ways to be able to set up and hurt the opposition. So we've sort of prepared for both ways. And maybe they throw something else at us tomorrow. But I think we're well prepared. We know their strengths. They're a very well organised side. They're very good at transition, but they can definitely high press as well. So whatever they throw at us, we'll be prepared. And we've been putting a lot of focus on being able to identify what teams are doing and how can we adjust depending on if they sit off, if they high press, if they play direct. So for me, these last probably 6 weeks, we've been putting a lot of work on how we can identify what the opposition are doing and then utilise the gaps that they're leaving us to be able to exploit them.
And just on your Matilda's selections again, mate, because I realised I should have asked you this at the time. Asked Leah before, and she said she'll go into camp with the Matildas in December when they come down to Victoria. Is that the case with all 3 of your players, or will you lose any of your players to the Queensland base games?
No, all 3 of them will be, as you mentioned before, yeah. So they'll play for us against Western Sydney Wanderers, and then after that, they'll go into camp.
Okay. Does that, because I think you've got 16 days between games after the Wanderers game. Does that mean your players won't miss a game?
They won't miss a game, no.
Okay,
but
okay,
we have two other internationals, Mariana Speckmeyer with Venezuela, and also with TJ with Serbia, that will be missing the Wanderers match.
Okay, I
Yeah.
see. And in terms of coming in, mate, I want to ask you, like, as I said, the responsibilities that you have when you inherit a premiership winning side, but you're also a highly successful coach in your own right. Coming into this, you've got your own ideas about how you think the game should be played. What are some of the things that you've sort of, I guess, not tried to change wholesale about the group, but tried to tweak to fit your view of the game and your view of football since you've arrived?
Look, I think one of the main reasons I was given this job is because my style of football is very similar to the City way anyway. So I think that was a seamless transition, I guess. I've still going to learn the terminology and some of the smaller details that they do here, which is very exciting for me on a personal note to be able to expand my football knowledge. But I think the main thing for me is that we're trying to improve adaptability in the players to be able to read the game better, because we are getting thrown every week different challenges, and even some teams that I've noticed even during the matches are changing from a build-up from a back 3 to a back 4, for an example, or high pressing with swing wingers coming across. So we need to be able to identify that, and how we can see those pitches and be able to exploit the spaces. That's been my biggest focus with this group.
And you're enjoying it?
Loving it. Absolutely loving it. I think all of my coaching's basically been, I've been working full-time in football for 15, 16 years now, but never really in this head coach professional environment, always in semi-pro environments or youth environments or technical director roles with coach education, things like that. So to be in this full-time professional environment, I'm definitely enjoying it. And I'm really loving being back in the female game. I spent 3 years with the NTC girls about 6-7 years ago, and half a season with Adelaide United W League back then under Ivan Karlovic. So really enjoyed my time in the female game, and yeah, when this opportunity came up, I was definitely ready to jump on it.
And looking at the squad that you've named for this game. It looks so Rebecca Stott available for the game. Shelby McMahon available for the game as well as a couple of ins. Just are they able to go the full 90? What are you expecting out of them?
Well, unfortunately, Shelby pulled up a little bit sore, so we're not going to risk her. She's a young player that we need to monitor. She's growing a lot over the last couple of weeks. She's really she's growing over just over a centimetre in a week, basically. So we need to be very, very mindful of her being such a young player. So we're not going to risk her. So she was looking likely that she was going to be in the squad, but we'll have to wait till next week. Stoddy's definitely trained very good all week, so she's definitely up for selection. And it was a minor injury, so it was only a little setback for her. Otherwise, she had a very, very solid pre-season and played a lot of minutes in Asia. So her base is very good. So if we decide, she's ready to go the full 90.
And I guess we talked a little bit more about chance creation and chance denial. You have had to overcome halftime deficits in both of the opening games. How do you avoid doing that this time around?
I don't think much needs to change. I don't think both games were slightly different. I think the one against Perth, we were dominating the match. I thought we created a lot more chances than them, but went into the half with a really nice goal that they scored. Credit to them, scoring from 35 metres out. And then against Victory, I thought it was quite even most of the match. I thought we were maybe slightly the better in the first half, but they ended the first half better and capitalised from a couple of, I would say, mistakes from us, but credit to them, they were able to punish us. And then I think at halftime, both halftimes are about being calm, continuing to believe in what we're good at, what we know we can do, understand that we're physically very fit at the moment. And I think having the Asian Champions League campaign has definitely helped us in the second halves, early in the first couple of rounds. So we're just backing ourselves. We know what we're good at, and sometimes it just needs a bit of a boost at halftime. But I don't think much needs to change. We've had a very good training week. We're very well prepared for the Central Coast, and hopefully we can start the match a little bit better and be ahead. That's the goal.